Hello adventurers, it's Bugsy from Lazy T Studios, and welcome back to the next devlog for Amber's Tale, our action Metroidvania. Now there is a lot to cover in today's episode, so let's jump straight into it. The game's appearance has undergone a bit of a transformation, hopefully making it more engaging, vibrant, and adding a lot of clarity. This visual revamp has been on the cards for some time, but I wanted to be absolutely sure of the game's vision before I revealed any more details. Feedback from our initial demo pinpointed a recurring issue. The game's visuals were just too dark. While the colours did embody a warm, autumnal feel, they leaned heavily towards the yellow end of the spectrum. This often led to players struggling to differentiate between the character and the background. To address this, while keeping the actual art itself intact, we made a number of changes. Previously, I used to blur the background images individually in Sprite. However, now we've transitioned to more of an advanced system. We utilise multiple cameras, each rendering a specific layer and the assets on it. A post-processing volume with a depth of field blur is applied to every element within that layer. And we've set up several layers in this way, meaning the blur will intensify the further back each layer recedes into the background. For that added touch, we've added a semi-transparent rectangular sprite between each layer, simulating a fog effect. Using this new method, there is a lot more flexibility. We can alter the fog's colour or introduce new variations. Additionally, we can integrate more post-processing options if we deem it necessary. Now, if you want to see a whole dedicated video on how I make a scene from beginning to end, let me know in the comments below. Really quickly, I am planning to make a small playable demo within the next week or so, and it's going to be available exclusively on Patreon. Every new member is one step closer to making this my full-time job, and I cannot thank you enough. And a special shout out to my celestial backer, Zatmaggot. We've also completely reimagined our camera system. Drawing a lot of inspiration from Sasquatch B Studios' insightful video, How to Make a Camera System, our primary focus has been enhancing your experience as a player through nuanced camera interactions. Instead of leaving you guessing, the ledge detection now causes the camera to subtly pan down or up, offering a glimpse as to what lies ahead. Moreover, the main camera now actively tracks the player's orientation, and it offsets itself to always grant you a clearer view of the space ahead. Whether you're stationary, moving, or mid-jump, the camera fluidly lerps to your new position, enabling you to anticipate battles and navigate platforming sections with ease. The seamless transition between various camera types, regardless of your location or action, ensures consistent immersion. Now, on the topic of transitions, having abrupt camera shifts, especially when transitioning rooms, often jolted you out of a gameplay experience. We address this with a directional based camera swapping mechanism. The goal? To draw a player's focus and keep them oriented, whether it's setting camera boundaries in a boss room or discreetly hiding a secret space. We've ensured that there are no premature reveals. The excitement of exploration remains intact. Ultimately, our efforts have been directed towards not just a visually attractive gameplay experience, but also an intuitive and immersive one. We're committed to ensuring that you feel engaged and connected to this world at every moment. Now, before we delve any further, let me quickly address this. This devlog is a little bit later than I would have liked, but due to the uncertainty of the changes that Unity implemented regarding their runtime fees, we did briefly pause development. After they did walk back on their decision, we will continue to use Unity for Amber's Tale. And if you are curious about our full stance, feel free to pause the video and read the public statement we provided. Moreover, in our pursuit for flexibility and growth, we're also evaluating other game engines like Godot for future projects. We would love to hear from you though. Are you going to be trying out new engines, or is Unity going to remain your preference? With that clarified, let's get back into the updates for Amber's Tale. Visual effects play an indispensable role in enhancing a game's ambience, and also amplify the impact of attacks or abilities. Consider these nuances: a smoke trail that lingers post-jump, or dynamic particles that burst forth from an enemy upon impact. Combine this with a touch of screen shake, and you craft a potent sensation of power and agency. While our current effects are still in their preliminary stages, they lay a promising foundation, aiming to deepen the immersion in the player combat. Additionally, shaders like the shockwave emitted upon defeating an enemy elevate this experience even further. We've also updated the player's attack animations based on feedback. Some felt our earlier style was a bit too like Hollow Knight and Silksong. It is important to us that our game has its own feel. With our new animations, they're clear and fluid, and we've added a bit of a magical flair that you will be able to chain together to keep combat fresh. Lastly, a seemingly small yet vital feature was missing from our last demo: an easy way to exit the game. In the previous version, the only way out might have been the less than ideal Alt F4 or delving into the task manager, admittedly a result of my oversight. But no more. We've now integrated a fully functional pause menu that intuitively adapts based on your preferred control method, whether that's mouse and keyboard or a controller. And while we were at it, we gave our main menu a fresh makeover too. And just to reassure you, the quit button, it works like a charm. See?